Good morning. This is Tammy, and I wanted to share a little bit of a story with you first, but also an expectation for you and me and everybody listening and everybody not listening. You can share this with absolutely everybody, okay? I was doing some work for a client the other day, and I was thinking about the situation that I was examining. So I'm gonna not tell you the real names or the real place, but I do want you to know, hey Kristen, I do want you to know my expectations of you and your obligations to others. It's important in terms of conquering conflict. And when we don't fulfill our obligation, we actually put people at risk. And you don't want that to be your legacy. So let me just kind of back up a little bit. And I'm gonna give you the kind of Cole's Note version of this situation. I was in a workplace and there were some people feeling intimidated by one particular employee. We will use the name Janet, for example. I'm sorry if I'm picking on Janet's, but I just want to use a name that's not going to be connected to this situation. So Janet was the staff member who was speaking rudely and making comments that were causing others to feel not valued, not capable, not competent, and it kind of put a barrier between them because the staff members would never come to Janet to ask for help. Now, when these comments were made by Janet, the other staff members around, so there were kind of like two pockets of people, they didn't even flinch. They didn't even like go, oh, gasp, nothing. It's as if they had become immune to her words. And I thought this was a very interesting dynamic because clearly what Janet was saying was offensive and it was creating a negative relationship between people at work. So because I was kind of new, I needed to do a little bit of investigation. First, I asked those who were offended what was going on, if this was like the first time, if this had been a long time happening. And they kind of validated my assumptions, which was that this is her normal behavior and this has created tension so much that they would actually not ask her, but they would go to another healthcare support provider and ask them and bring them off of their floor. You can't see me like I'm like making a big circle here. They would pull them off their floor to come and help them with their patient care, leaving those patients vulnerable. So this is healthcare. Okay, so that's a problem, right? That is a problem because the staff over on this unit, they have their own work to do. Janet is assigned to this unit and she should be assisting with this work, but there's tension between the people on that unit and they're not collaborating. So not only is there a problem between the two staff members, but now our patients are at risk. Not just this unit, but the unit over here too, where we're pulling staff members from. Massive problem with patient safety and outcomes. So that's not okay with me. So the second thing I needed to do was then talk to the staff members who seemed to be blind and oblivious to what was going on. And again, they validated my assumptions. They had become immune to it and they would just justify it as saying, oh, that's just Janet. We've learned to just ignore her. Okay, so here's the problem with that. When you don't tell Janet that what she's doing is offensive, you are putting her in direct risk of being called a bully, and you're putting those around her in direct risk of feeling like they're being bullied. And I can tell you that the consequences of that are massive for both parties, right? So here we have Janet who has no idea. She's absolutely blind to her own intention or blind to her interaction. She has no idea. So now that I've got my information, I pull Janet aside and I want to have a conversation to understand from her perspective what she's thinking when she says these things. And when I shared with her the impact of her words, she was mortified. She had zero insight into that because nobody had spoken up to her. Nobody had said to her, Janet, you can't talk that way. Janet, I don't like it when you say that. Let's have a conversation. Let's restructure this. Nobody, because what happens is you have an internal conflict and you don't know what to say. And this is my specialty, guys. I'm going to help you with that. But when you don't know what to say and you forego your obligation to speak up, this becomes your legacy. You are a part of that trail of burn where people's lives are being sacrificed because you could not find the words or the way to speak up. Don't be that person. Do not let that be your legacy. When you see this happening in the workplace and you know internally, you know you could have done something, you should be doing something, then you need to do something. If you need some help figuring out what that is, I'm your girl. Join us over at the Facebook group. It's free. There's no charge. Conquer Conflict. Join us there at the Facebook group. I do lots of interactive stuff, post lots of stuff there on a regular basis to help you guys find your voice. And if you want to get more support, like if you think this is something, yes, I need to know what to say, Tammy, I'm going to help you. I actually have a masterclass that I run every month, and right now it's on for a massively reduced price because I want to get people in and make sure that the tweaks I've made to the course are in fact going to get the results that I anticipate they're going to get, and results are good so far. You can find information about that at the website as well, or you can go to conquerconflict.com, sign up for the free tip sheet, and then that's going to take you to some more information that's going to help support you meet your obligation. Yeah, it's my expectation that you can find a way to speak up when something's not right, because otherwise you're complicit in the outcome. So with that, what a lovely message to start your day with. Hey, Angela, Cassie, I should say hello to people. Jen, it's nice to see you guys here. Have a great day, and don't forget to make it your responsibility to speak up.